Mr. Wicked Shot, back again here with another First Amendment audit and Second Amendment for sure. And in today's audit, just like the last one, I'll be exercising my right to take video and open carry in public and in public accessible places. I'll be bringing these rights to private business owners today. I'll be doing that in front of fast food restaurants. And I chose this intersection, as you can see, to do it because it's very busy, so it'll be pretty obvious. A lot of people will be able to stop and see what I'm doing. And yeah, I want to make sure that it's no secret about what I'm out here doing. So yeah, just a look at the area, look at the surrounding, and that's what we have working with right now. And we'll see if anybody tries to infringe on my right to open carry, the First Amendment right to take video or photograph, or just be nosy and try to figure out what I'm doing. And it's crazy. The crazy part for me is because this state is an open carry, and even though it's an open carry, and that should be common sense to anyone that lives in the state should know whether the state's an open carry or not, people still have a look of stun or shock when they see somebody open carrying a firearm. So that's why I do it, so that it doesn't become shocking or seen as strange. It becomes normal just seeing somebody exercise their right. So when the time comes for one of you to go out in the public and exercise your right, you won't get a hard time or get any evil looks. So that's why we're out there doing what we do as auditors, is because we want to normalize your constitution, exercise it, and make them, make people comfortable doing what we do, and not be scared and skittish to do it, and live in that fear of, oh, it's gonna make somebody uncomfortable, so I won't do it. Because I was like that as well. Almost everything I did in my daily life surrounded about whether somebody would feel uncomfortable or not, which doesn't make any sense. Live your life for you and not for somebody else. It can be respectful, but not if it means cutting your arm off and your leg off to do it. So yeah, and I'll show you my carry right now so you can see it right there on my hip, 9mm. Yeah, and I think some of you guys will appreciate this shirt that I'm wearing. Back up so you can see. It says freedom isn't free, and you can see the man telling the story right here. Men and women overseas. Yeah, so this is part of our freedom, being able to do stuff like this. And because it isn't free, because there's people dying so that we have this right to do what we're doing, and dying so that we don't, dying to give us these rights, or so we have this right. So, we don't end up in a country or a state, whatever you want to call it, that looks like, Nazi Germany or North Korea or China, where people have no right and, restriction, on everything they do, So, yeah, those guys overseas, man, they're dying so that you can have these rights to protect our Constitution, to make sure it stands firm. So you just sit around and not exercising them, or just look down on someone that's exercising their right and trying to make it normal and normalize it so that when the time comes for you to stand up for your right, it's no problem. Give you a view of the surrounding. We got an airport over there. Not an airport, but I think an airfield. So that's where that plane is coming from. We have the fire station just down there. Fire station, I believe that's fire station 2 that I did an audit on not too long ago. Did pretty well. Those guys to me are real heroes. Of course, cops are heroes as well, but the reason why those guys to me are, I put them below the men and women overseas, obviously, because those guys are on a different level. They're literally, fighting tooth and nail to protect the country, so they have to be at the top of the list. And then next to me is firefighters, because these guys, they're not hiding behind a gun and a shield and a group and all this stuff, and don't have any militarized protection. even though they also have to put their life on the line to protect others. Just like how cops' jobs is to serve the public, these guys' job are to serve the public, and they don't have no protection. They go out there, they have to fight fire, natural disaster, all the natural disasters, rain, snow, shine, earthquake. They're out there, and sometimes they go in hostile environment as well. You know, they don't have any protection. They could be going into somebody's house to save somebody, and that person might be unstable, and they just get shot and killed. You know, so. But they do it anyway, you know, and these guys that I dealt with, they are very respectful and they're very appreciative of what I do. And they're not skittish and act all nervous and scared because they see a camera, which is not the way I see officers tend to react. You know, officers get too sensitive and up in their feelings once they see someone with a camera. And that's why for me, firefighters are top. Put officers first. So the ranking for me, the military, firefighters, and law enforcement. And then across there we have a golf course, pretty neat, pretty nice. I don't golf, but I like that it's there if I need to. And again, as you can see, I'm being careful to make sure I don't go onto private property. So I use the state's utility as my guide. So right there, that's a pool that was put in by the state. So that is the cutoff point for public access. Once you cross that pool, no, you can be trespassed. So I make sure I stay right here on the left side of that. So where I'm supposed to be. So we'll stick around, not sure for how long, you know, I'll just wing it, see how it goes. And once I feel like I've made my point, then I will move on and close out the video. Or I'll just close out the video and call it a day, one of the two. Yeah, if you guys like the video, like what I do, you know, go ahead and, you know, put a like on that. I'd appreciate it. You know, and if you want to sub, I appreciate that as too. I'm not doing this for subs or likes and anything like that. I'm just doing it to do my civic duty, I feel, you know, as a contributing member of society. And I feel like providing free education and just, you know, enlighten people on their rights and how to use it and how to go about things in a respectful manner, especially if you're trying to, you know, bridge the gap. You know, I feel like doing what I do is the best way to go about that. You know, I have to make a lot of time to do what I do, because I basically almost work 7 days a week, you know, because even on my little one day, which is today, my day off, I usually have a lot of things to do at home that is basically still classified as work-related stuff, and I still have to take care of the kids and do store, you know, chores around the house, a lot of stuff. So this takes some sacrificing to make time to do, especially if you're not doing it for money like me. You know, it's not anything to do with money, no interest. But it would be nice. I have, like, you know, one of my goals on YouTube. Initially I had no target. I wasn't looking to reach like a certain number or anything like that. But after, because I wasn't expecting people to subscribe, and once I saw people start to subscribe, I'm like, you know, first it did 100. I'm like, damn, I didn't even think I would have 5 subs, and then it went to 100. And then I'm like, okay, that's cool. You know, really happy about it. And then it went to 200. I'm like, wow, this is you know, I appreciate all of you guys that sub and all that stuff. But after it started going, I'm like, man, if I could hit 1,000 subs, that to me would mean a lot, you know. So I appreciate anybody that subs, man. I really do, you know. But if you don't want to sub, that's cool too. Just coming around, you know, and watching, that works too, you know. But yeah, and the reason why you know, 1,000 sub is what, you know, I'm targeting, hope to achieve, is because right now there's not much way I can go live if there's a problem or a situation where I feel like going live for my own safety or protection. And to be able to go live on YouTube, I think you have to have like 1,000 subs. So yeah, that's why I'd like to get to 1,000 subs. So just in case I'm doing an audit and I feel like the situation is getting a little bit strained and I want to go live for my protection, then I can go live. But for right now, yeah, I can't do that. So yeah, if I hit 1,000 subs, that'd be awesome. I had a pretty sweet, you know, interesting, I would say, interaction with law enforcement that I was recording, and I thought it would have been a good video to show to you guys, to show that, you know, it's not always about agreeing. We don't always have to agree with each other, but we can respect. Just, you know, picking the brain and see where he stands and what he thinks about what we do as auditors. And he made some interesting point, man. Some of his point made sense, some of them didn't, but for the most part, it's kind of what this thing is about. It's having dialogue, and he appreciated the dialogue. Because more than anything, I think people would have appreciated, you know, a shoulders down, man-to-man chat like that. We both were making, you know, strong points towards everything, you know, but for the most part, we respected each other. You know, we went about respectfully. You know, we didn't, you know, we disagreed to agree, and we agreed on a lot of stuff. And at the end of the conversation, you know, we shook hands, you know, and went our separate way, and at least had a, you know, more understanding of where each side was coming from, and I respected that. But that was good. I wish I was able to show you guys that video, because it's a good interview. It's a good interview. And we talked about that. We touched on a lot of good stuff. The way they feel about being recorded, even though he said he's okay with it. And you know, open carrying and all that stuff. You know, because this was one of those interactions where we weren't agreed on everything, but we were at least respect. You know, we were respectful towards each other, and that was the main thing that he wanted to get across. Is like, he doesn't mind not agreeing with somebody, but if, you know, people can just treat them with respect, because they give whatever energy they get, and he gives whatever energy he gets. But I made him know that, hey, you know, the difference is you guys' job is to be professional, you know, so you have to try to do that as often as you can, you know. You can't just give the energy you get from a citizen all the time, you know, any time. You're not supposed to anyway. You have to go about your duty with respect. So that's the difference. You work for the public, work for the citizens, we don't. So we don't have to, you know, behave as you have to. That's within your policy. So, but I still respected a lot of stuff you will see. As you can see, right now, still in front. Yep, still in front. Still open carrying. You can see on my left hip, haven't moved it. So far so good. So far so good. Next I'm going to take a walk over there, and I'll stay over there for probably like 5 minutes, and then everything goes smoothly, I'll be on my way. Yeah. Literally treading the line. I'm trying to be as respectful as possible and not going across lines that will be deemed trespassing. State pool, state line. So far so good. No issue. This is to the cop that I was talking to. The problem he has with being recorded is if he's being recorded in a moment of weakness where he made a mistake, probably went too aggressive or something like that, and it being put out there, and then boom, he's memorialized as this asshole. And my answer to that was like, yeah, but you can't get tied up into feeling like that and worried about that. If somebody can record it anyway, so it makes no sense. You're wasting emotion, just having an issue with camera just because of that. That's like, crying about something that's outside of your control. Like, yeah, as long as you did, you were doing the best you can. There's no perfect person out there in the world. There's bad photographer, bad auditors, all that stuff. So it shouldn't matter, man. So basically I told him like, dude, you shouldn't worry about that, man. You're a cop, be proud, One of the other things, we're like a little bit disagreeing on. I was telling him, about, when people ask you for to identify yourself, even if it's not within your policy, you should be proud to ID yourself, not just, do the unprofessional thing and point to your chest or your badge and all that stuff. And I said to him when he said that, even though he ID'd himself to me, it seemed like you guys don't really like to ID yourself, man. When the public asks, you have an issue with that. And he's like, yeah, because you can, the badge is on there on my chest and my name is on there, so you guys can read it, you can see it. And I'm like, yeah, but what if the person that's asking you can't read, or they can't see it very well? And he's like, man, you can read. If you can, look up on YouTube and do all this stuff, you can obviously read, that was a little bit sarcastic, but I was saying, like, yeah, even if it's not within your policy and even if the person can read, it's just professional, man, and shows you in a good light when you are proud to identify yourself, and not try to be difficult, basically, like you guys like to see it, So, yeah, we agreed on a lot of stuff and we disagreed on a lot of stuff, but for the most part, we remain respectful. That was all that it was about, and try to bridge the gap and understand where both sides coming from, which is what I'm about, And I guess one of the point he made, which about what he has, the issues that he has with auditors or some people that do what I do, is if they're going out there to do it to cause a problem, hoping for interaction and stuff like that. And he made some good reason why those things are counterproductive, where now these guys that should be fighting crime and all that stuff have to respond to nonsense and feed a narrative or just to get beat by somebody. And I'm like, yeah, I get that, and I explained to him that that's not what I'm about, man. I love when nobody comes out and try to talk to me. I actually like that, because that's what I'm looking for, to be left alone to exercise my right and my freedom, but he said other than that, he has no problem with auditors, man. And he actually says he appreciates what auditors do, because transparency is important, and it shows people out there that not all cops are bad cops, which most people should already know, but because the media don't show that, they like to just find the bad one and just rinse and repeat it all over the web. So people like us, which are the true news and press, go about showing transparency and what real policing look like. So yeah, man, good dude. A lot of the guys in my era, they're for the most part, they don't mess with you unless you're violating the law, Even if they don't agree with what you're doing, they won't mess with you unless they have legal reason to. So, I think this was a success. This was a pass. You get a look or two, but for the most part, that's about it, man. And people are allowed to, people are allowed to be curious. They're allowed to come up to you and ask you questions if they want to. Nobody has done that, but I don't got any problem with it. I'm seeing what I like to see. Me being left alone to do what a free American is allowed to do. So this video won't draw in a ton of views, obviously, because there's not much going on in it. But like I said, man, guys, I'm not here for the views. I'm here to spread the news. America is the home of the land, the brave, and the free, and not all cops are bad. All right, so this is gonna be it. I'm gonna sign off here. Still carrying. You guys can see it. Still carrying. So I'm gonna sign off here and call it a day. And I hope you guys appreciated the video. I try to not talk as much in this one, but like I said, I just want to I think it's important to narrate the video as best as I can, so you know, it's not just a lot of dead spots and you know, you get bored and all that stuff. You might get bored from me talking, but I feel, you know, as a streamer or what I'm doing, I have to, it's part of what I have to do. A streamer has, just as a streamer has to talk to his chat, I gotta talk to my viewers and narrate the video. So yeah, we're gonna call it right here. I hope you guys appreciated this again, and like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I'll be able to continue putting out more content for you guys. All right, so Mr. Wicked Shot signing off. See you guys.